got 5 free prize picks plays with one being super sneaky. You want to check them out? Come on in. Good morning, TGIF. It is Craig Bennett, aka Cash Keg, here with another early look NBA prize picks video here. I've got 5 plays for you. One that's really sneaky. I'll put that one out at the end. Got a 4 assist props, and the rebound prop is the real sneaky one I think we can take advantage of, and I really like it. But we got 5 here. Yesterday, man, I tell you what, I told you to play light. It feels like every night in the NBA, especially the closer we get towards the end of the season, there's just so many blowouts. And it's unfortunate because I was really looking to see that Brooklyn-Philly game. And so I was hoping to be more competitive, but man, Harden just could not hit a shot. But with that, hey, let's just jump right into this. And again, you guys have been awesome. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. If I provide you any sort of value at all, I'd really appreciate it. And we'll just kind of jump into this right now. So let's go. All right, as you can see, I have the NBA Prize Picks desktop version up here. They have a sweet mobile app you can download as well. If you do not have a Prizepicks account, make sure you run over there and use that promo code DFSArmy and get a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. The link is in the description below, and also in there's little instructions. If you are a brand new Prizepicks sign-up member and you use that promo code, you can also get a free month of DFSArmy VIP membership. So check all that in the description below, and let's just talk about these plays real quick. So, like I said, we have a lot of assist props on the early board here, right? So it's a 10-game slate. It's Friday. It's March 11th, so we're going to have some good plays here. It's a decent-sized board for early. Not bad. I think a lot of that has to do with having a 2-gamer yesterday, but I wish the NBA would just stick with these 6 and 7 games. It's just so much better. I don't enjoy the 2-game slates that much, but hey, we got a nice one today, and let's just dive into it. So assist props, like I said, we got a ton of them here. The first one we're going to talk about is we're going to go to Dejounte Murray. Play this thing a lot. Going up against Utah here. It's a 230.5 over under. Utah favored by 7. Utah has a few injuries on their bench here. Bojan Bogdanovic is going to be out here. And then the Spurs, Primo's doubtful. Bates Diop is doubtful. And then Langford is out, but that doesn't really matter too much. But again, 8.5 seems really low here. Yes, Utah's defense is good. They're ranked 4th in assists allowed. But Murray is a special player. He's played these guys once back on December 17th, and he put up 11 assists on these guys. 8.5 just feels a little bit low. I feel like the line should be closer to 9.5 or 10. He's went over this mark in 6 of his last 10 games. And again, it just feels like a little low having an 8.5. If the game stays close, he's going to go over this. These games that he didn't hit, he had some shooters out, and that really hurts him. So one thing about Murray is like, yeah, to get those assists, you got to have guys that can hit some shots. So some of his shooters were out these games. When they came back for Toronto, they hit a few shots for him. So that's really important for him in that assist thing. You got to make sure he has his arsenal that can hit some shots. So, when he has Vassell there and Lonnie Walker there, to hit those shots, or Keldon Johnson's, stroking threes, or Jakob Poeltl's throwing his little push shot in the lane. Just all those things help. Doug McDermott's draining threes as well. Like, he needs his shooters to hit this assist prop. So I do like the over here at 8.5, even though the matchup's kind of tough. I'm going to lean that with Bogdanovic out. Maybe it becomes a little bit closer. So we're going to take the over 8.5 assists here. The next one we're going to look at, we're going to go up here to this Knick game, and we're going to go first to RJ Barrett. We're going to go over 3.5 assists. This just seems way too low to me. The only way I think this doesn't pan out is the game gets out of control for the Knicks. And so I got to preface that it feels like with every pick that I throw out there these days, because it just feels like when teams get down, they have no freaking guts to come back and fight back. So again, they have so many injuries with the Knicks, right? Quentin Grimes is out. Obi Toppin is questionable. Rose is still out. Noel's still out. So, there's really only so many ball handlers on this team right now. RJ Barrett handles the ball a ton. Alec Burks handles the ball a ton. Quickly off the bench has been doing really well. They do have Miles McBride that plays, 15, 20 minutes a game, but he doesn't really do a whole lot of anything. It's basically Barrett. It's been super aggressive, playing a ton of minutes. But he's went over this in 5 of his last 5 games. He's went over this in 8 of his last 10. Memphis ranks 21st in assists allowed, so the matchup is great. The line just feels too low. He's averaging 38 minutes over his last 5. So the minutes are just massive here. And again, a guy that's going to play this many minutes, that's got the ball in his hands, been driving to the lane a ton. So I think that helps his assist too when they dive in on him. He's throwing the ball out there. So do like this assist prop. I feel like this number should be at 4.5. So I feel like we're getting at least 1 assist here. So just this number feels way too low. Next one we're going to go to is running mate here. I'm just going to go right over to Alec Burks. I feel like this is too low too. Same kind of situation here. We have, Memphis, they're ranked 21st in assists allowed. As long as this stays close, he's got the ball in his hands a ton. He's been playing a lot better lately. The minutes have creeped up a ton for him. He's averaged 34 minutes over his last 5 games. And one of those games was only 26 minutes against the Clippers. But before that, 39 minutes against Dallas, 35 in Sacramento. If the game stays close, he's going to play 35 plus minutes, 37 minutes. And he's went over this mark in 5 of his last 5 games with a lot of those injury situations. He just consistently get there, 5, 4, 4, 6, 4. I prefer the RJ Barrett one over Burks if you're choosing one of them and you don't want to play both of them. I feel like they're both undervalued here and you can take advantage of playing one of them. But if you're going to choose one, I prefer RJ Barrett over Alec Burks. But I still think this line should be closer to 4. So we got about a half to play with here. So I would play it up to 4. I wouldn't play it higher than that. But if he's going to have the ball in his hands a ton, going up against Memphis here, and as long as it stays close, like I said, Memphis is favored by 9.5. You always worry a little bit. So that is a consideration to have. But again, they're pretty shorthanded here. And hopefully they continue to play pretty well. Next one we're going to go to is, again, one thing that you're kind of like wondering, situations with the game's going to stay close is Marcus Smart, right? Over 6.5 assists here. And we're on the other side of it, right? We're not on the underdog side. We're on the favorite side. Well, going up against Detroit, they ranked 23rd in assists allowed, 28 in shooting guard defense. He's been playing a lot of point, and the worry, again, with this play is if he's going to see a full game, I think he smashes it, right? If you think he plays a 3/4 game, I don't know if he gets there, right? I mean, it's just a perfect matchup going against Cade. Detroit has so many injuries, and that's the big worry. Detroit is a 14-point dog, 216 over under here. Frank Jackson's out for Detroit, Chris Smith, Isaiah Stewart, Killian Hayes, Diallo, Magruder, just they're all out, right? And that is the worry about this play. It's like the matchup's great. He put up 7 assists in Detroit on December 26th. And he only played 29 minutes that game. I think he could almost get there in half if it goes well and Brown and Tatum are hitting their shots. But that's one of the situations where, the line feels off. He plays a full game. I think it should be closer to 7 to 7.5. But, take that into consideration when you're making this play. Is just that in particular. And you can say the same thing for Cade on the other side. If the game stays close, I think Cade smashes this 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. But the matchup is absolutely horrible. So maybe if you feel like the game doesn't stay close and Cade doesn't get full run, I mean, there's so many guys that are out. You'd want to take the under on a guy like this at 30.5. But if he plays 36, 37 minutes, he should smash this because he's went over it in 5 of his last 5 games, right? But these matchups have been pretty soft. But going up against Boston with how well they've been playing, I worry about it. Otherwise, I would have mentioned Cade here. I'm bringing him up just because it's very similar with the Smart play on the other side, right? I think Smart has a better chance of getting there even in a blowout, where Cade, I think, is going to need the whole game to get there. So just something I wanted to mention while I was talking about the Smart play is to keep that in mind. And the last one here, like I said, one that I think is really sneaky that I do like, is we're going to go over the rebounds, and we're going to come down here and we're going to go to our boy Devin Booker. 4.5 rebounds, and we're going to take the over here with Devin Booker. The 4 games that he has played without Chris Paul, basically from the 24th on this OKC game, this is the first game that Chris Paul went out. He's put up 3 against the Pelicans, and then 7 and 8 rebounds. Toronto 16th in defenses, in rebounds allowed, 22nd in shooting guard defense. The juice is massively on the over on this at minus 135, minus 140 in spots. I really like this play. It's one of those ones where you look at Booker as just a scorer, but going up against Toronto, he loves to crash the boards. If it's a close game, he's averaging, close to 37 minutes against teams without Chris Paul out there. And it just seems like a really sneaky play to play him with no Chris Paul. Again, he does a little bit of everything. And it just feels like this line should be closer to 5.5 to me. So I feel like we're getting a full rebound with this at 4.5, and I can see this moving a little bit to 5 or 5.5 on some of the books that are out there. But one thing to keep in mind, that's one of my favorite plays that I found on this early card. With some of these other ones, you do worry about, right? But the lines do feel too low on these, and it's super hard to predict. Some of these games are going to blow out. Some of the ones you think they're going to blow out don't blow out. Ones that you think are going to be competitive blow out. Just welcome to March and April NBA, and hopefully we can skirt some of these games and put some money in our pockets. So again, Dejounte Murray over 8.5 assists, RJ Barrett over 3.5 assists, Alec Burks over 3.5 assists, Marcus Smart over 6.5 assists, and Devin Booker over 4.5 rebounds. So those are the 5 plays that we got. Again, TGIF, have a great Friday. I will put out another Prizepicks main video here around lunchtime once we get a full board and can kind of dig in a little bit. But again, if you don't have a account, make sure you head on over there and use that promo code DFSArmy and get that 100% instant deposit match up to $100. And in the description below, you can also might get you a free month of DFSArmy VIP membership. So with that, I will see you guys on the flip side. Deuces.